the Warchant Man Cave Show. Hard to believe this is season number 5, and I'm joined, of course, by Jeff Cameron, ESPN Radio.
Good to be with you, brother.
97.9.
Yeah.
How in the world have we been doing this for 5 years? How do
they put up with this nonsense,
us?
right? Yeah.
It's
angering other fan bases for 5 years now.
Yes, and we'll continue to do so, hopefully.
Good.
Well, I appreciate our sponsors, Jimmy John's here. Now they've got the 12 and the 24 pack for your tailgating.
This is what you do right here.
You go right there, very convenient.
I already partook in the turkey. It's delicious.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
It's a good way to do it. So Jimmy John's, freaky good, freaky fast, freaky fresh. And now we are officially in the 7th Hill Tap Room as it's open. It is really, believe it or not, it's like the unicorn, Matthew Thomas. It does exist.
We dreamed of this day, Gene.
Yes.
We dreamed of this day. It's here, yeah.
The 7th Hill Tap Room on Appalachian Parkway. You got to check this place out. It is a craft beer lover's dream.
Oh,
Jeff.
man, it's
incredible.
incredible.
We're going to show you how this place works right now. Before we go, let me introduce the Unmentionables. We can flash them
over there, boys.
Hey, guys.
Hello, everybody. Yep, there they are. All right, there we go. Yep, good. Okay,
yeah,
there we go.
We love having the Unmentionables here. We're not going to mention them, but let's go show you how cool this place is.
Yeah, let's do this. All right. You got the card, Gene? You good?
We got the card. See, what you do, it's kind of like Dave and Buster's. You get the magic card.
There you go. Come on in.
You get the magic card.
Yeah.
See, right here. You go over. What are you thinking, Jeff?
This is heaven right here. This is incredible stuff for me. I'm gonna go with Proof 850. I'm a big fan of Proof 850. We go local. Yeah, and then
he's going to zoom in there.
Here we go. Boom.
You tap it, and I don't know if you can see this, but it charges by the ounce. So you're paying for the ounces you get. So if you don't try it, you don't like it, you ditch out, you try something else.
It's a dangerous endeavor. What are you going to do here?
What's this other one here?
Okay.
What is that one there?
Let's see. Hydro Slide, which is a
little
dry hopped. It's out of Gainesville.
Oh, no, out of Gainesville. No. Let's go Oyster City.
Oyster City. There we go. Appalachia Cola. The bottom one's the right side. There we go.
Which one is this?
All right. That is the Oyster City.
Doesn't say on there.
Yeah, it probably does. We blew it. I don't know.
Oyster City. Which one is that one? Is that the IPA, the Appalach? I think that's the Appalach.
Well, we'll just keep testing here.
Yeah. So
Gene, I pour a better beer than you is what I'm noticing here, sir. Man. That is, my goodness gracious. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers indeed.
That's good times there. Well, welcome here. We're just going to enjoy this place like crazy. I've been here way too often as it is.
It's a dangerous place, but it's also a lovely facility.
It's a lot of fun. Well, now that we are in our 5th season, Jeff, like I said, can't believe that. And one thing that's nice about this year, remember when we did our wine and cheese special?
I do.
We got North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Well,
So we can do it again.
And I'm going to promote this. You realize I have wine here as well. So we have our wine right here. They have taps for the wine.
I have not yet had the wine, but I will make it a go.
We'll break out the Argyle sweaters and we'll have some wine and cheese.
You had the best Argyle sweater, so I'm going to try to one-up you this year.
I've not worn that since. So you think I'd be wearing that all
Shocking.
the time, but yeah. What's cool here, too, they got the crowlers. Have you done the crowlers?
I have done the crowlers. You can take it with you, which is an amazing thing.
If you like
you
it,
yeah.
It's a big can. They just fill it up. You take it home.
Yep, seal it right there. It lasts longer. It's good stuff.
All right. Let's talk about upcoming football season. It's a beautiful time of year. Football season is here. Jeff, what are the things you're looking forward to most? And I want to let's start on the negative. Let's do a schadenfreude. You know, the schadenfreude.
Okay, yeah.
The pleasure you derive from others' misery. So let's talk about our least favorite team, starting with Florida. So what would be a dream scenario for you to happen to Florida this year?
They still suck on offense. It's been a sustained level of suck on offense is going on now, 4 or 5 years. So to me, to see yet another season of offensive ineptitude, blocking one another, that kind of thing. If Del Rio is garbage, the way that I suspect he might be, then that would be the kind of schadenfreude I look to.
Wouldn't it be awesome for them to go 4-8 again?
Yeah.
You could have two.
You dare to dream to 4-8.
4-8 twice.
Oh, my goodness.
How could a program with that many resources that happen to?
You wouldn't live that down. You know, Florida State at its worst, of course, did not have a sub-500 season, even in the midst of the lost decade. So for Florida, you know, to see the depths of depravity that they have fallen to, it's a wondrous thing. I'm not going to hold out hope for 4-8. It'd be great. It's a bonus if it happens. But just to continue to be average, which really facilitates an apathetic point of view from the fanboys.
Not so bad that they have to change coaches. I think
just keep them right there. Continue to sustain.
Fall into hiring a good coach, and then we're going to be in trouble.
Well, and you just want the sustained losses in recruiting to continue, right? So that's what you have.
Speaking of losses in recruiting, let's talk about Mark Richter's down at Miami now.
Yeah.
And I know one of your favorite programs there.
Oh, my favorite, a very favorite.
What would you like to see? I mean, we like Mark Richter.
I like Mark. He's a good guy. And I had a chance to talk to him at the ACC meetings, and I had a long conversation with him. And you know, I did get a sense of overwhelming enthusiasm about this season. I feel like he realizes that they're still climbing the mountain, still many years away.
I think the scenario would be good. They win their first 4 games very easy. I know they do have Georgia Tech, which is very losable by them. Win those first 4 and get your expectations up. Then Florida State goes down to, which is now, I guess, Seminole Hard Rock Stadium, which makes sense.
That's right.
It is FSU's another
Branded,
home for FSU.
branded, yeah.
And then just demolish them and then let them go into their tailspin like they usually do.
If we're going to engage the whole Schadenfreude thing again, I will tell you, I'm a Tallahassee guy. I love this city. If Florida A&M were to knock off Miami,
now you're getting just
I can dare to
fancy
dream
there,
that happens, and I hope the Rattlers strike and immediately begin Miami's season on that note.
Really,
Wouldn't that
Mark Richt to go in and just completely
just
implode in year one.
you know, they can lose to Florida A&M, maybe bounce back whatever powder puff team they play next after that. But I'd like to see them lose to Florida A&M. I think that'd be fantastic.
See, you're like me, and I don't like the people who say Miami has to get good. It's good for the ACC.
No,
Keep
no,
them
I
down.
don't-
I mean,
no.
if nothing else, recruiting. I mean, the Dalvin Cooks and those kind of players, if they were good, you're not
LaMarcus
getting
Joyner
them.
was a nice player here. That
So
works.
they
Kelvin
never need
Benjamin
to
worked
be
out.
down.
Yeah.
Miami can permanently be down for all I care.
Yeah.
And then I want to say our friend, or not so friend, Urban Meyer. What would you like to see to happen?
Well, you
with
have a
Urban?
special kind of hatred
Yes,
for Urban.
I do.
I don't think anybody dislikes Urban Meyer more than this guy right here. And he gives you lots of ammunition.
More pizza things
Yeah.
after press, after games,
Yeah.
eating pizza,
Yeah.
faking heart attacks.
The
that
problem
kind of
is the Big Ten's not very good, and he's recruited
Yeah.
well. They're not going to be bad in any given year. What you'd like to see is for Michigan to start winning that game, but those are 2 unlikable figures. So watching 2
Yeah,
of the
but it's
least
lesser
like
of 2
yeah,
evils.
for
That would
now,
have
for now.
Harbaugh would rub it in. I think that would
Yeah,
really get
he
to
would.
Urban.
He would. He'd give a firm handshake and be a jerk about it, maybe push somebody. Yeah. So I'm with you. Okay, fair enough.
Now, the
Yeah.
other one, Dabo Sweeney, and I was thinking, and I want to get your theory on this because he stiffed us at ACC meeting.
He does not like
He
me.
stiffed us. We didn't get Deshaun Watson. We didn't get Bullard. None of them. We both requested him on Radio Row, but I noticed he spoke to like Raleigh, I think Blacksburg.
Sure.
Why would I wonder about that? We have had fun of him at his expense
On
on the
this
Man
show.
Cave Show, and
On
I'm
this
wondering
show.
if some SID at Clemson has said
Well-
you're not speaking to those guys.
So I'll give you some insight into that. I
happen?
think you know, Gene, by the nature of that question. I will tell you this. When I was up there and you were there, we were 2 booths away from each other. I walked up and talked to another SID, and that SID informed me that, you know, Jimbo Fisher wasn't going to talk to a certain radio show that he had a problem with.
Right.
And they kind of told me the backstory. And then they said, by the way, I can tell you before the list even comes out, you're not talking to Dabo Sweeney. So to answer to your question, they've already known.
Probably because we make fun of stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, when you look like a doofus and you act like a doofus, that's the kind of thing that happens, and we make fun of you like a doofus, then, you know, I mean, what are you gonna do? He does a great job. They're winning football games. They're a good team, but he's a doofus.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But I mean, the thing is, you can't shot them through that much because their schedule's so incredibly weak. Absolute worst case scenario, they're 10-2. There's almost no
Clemson,
way.
that is?
Yeah. They
Yeah.
play 2 ranked teams, Florida State, and they have Louisville at home. That's it.
And but we will root for them to boat race Auburn, I think, at the start of the year. Okay,
That's the one time I will root for
you'll root for
Clemson.
Clemson.
Anytime it's the SEC, they got to win. Now let's go a little bit more positive here for Florida State. What is the dream scenario for you for the Seminoles this year?
Well, a national championship victory would work. I'm a big fan of winning those. I would say that obviously a playoff berth, and then I would also say that if you could somehow replicate 27-2 here at Doak.
You want to give them that safety,
I would
though.
like the same score.
You think it's 27 nothing at the end of the game? We take a knee
Just
in the end
take a
zone.
knee in the end zone. To me,
Kind of rub
if
it
you
in.
could somehow replicate 27-2, that would be great. Another year in which Florida does not make any progress offensively coincides the culmination
I would say the
27-2.
thing I would like to see too, just for the memories of the games in the century, I'd love to see Florida State Clemson be a 1 versus 2. And this become
Possibility.
the epicenter of college football that weekend, and Florida State have a glorious win, Dalvin run for 200 yards. And that would be, if I'm going to dream that out, I'd love to see that.
29th of October, right? My guess is, I would say, at night, prime time,
Game
nation
day,
watching.
yeah.
Did you ever think you'd see a time, in truth, where the ACC could be the league that captivates a nation where 1 versus 2 at Doak is a reality, and people in California and Colorado and Utah care? You're right. That's a good one.
That's
I like
what I
that
want to see.
I'd like to see
Obviously,
that.
FSU needs to get the win there, but I'm with you everything else. You do that,
Yeah.
go on to win a national championship. I am definitely down with that. Now, let's get to this weekend.
Yeah.
I guess weekend next Monday, Florida State, Ole Miss, speaking of those SEC teams. We got Swag Kelly. Let's talk a little bit of old Swag.
Well, everybody's favorite. He's such a sweetheart, such a good guy.
Well, I'm going to go through a little bit of his rap
Give me the rap
here,
sheet,
which is
Gene.
amazing.
Give me the rap.
There he is. There is his swag story. He is Swag Kelly. All right, before he even got to college, suspended from his high school team.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you saw this tweet. Did you remember the tweet he did to Cole Stout? Before he was even on campus, he basically was talking smack to
well,
him.
now
about how
Cole
he's gonna
Stout wasn't
beat him.
any good, and
But
and,
he
you
told
know,
him he's going to take his job.
well, which he was probably correct, but it's not what you do. It's not. Yeah, it's not what you do. Right.
So he did that before even there. So then he gets in, he writes a rap song, which we know is never a good thing.
Not a good idea. Not a good idea. Yeah.
So then he has several incidents at Clemson, including getting in a verbal altercation with the coaches on the sideline during the spring game after being benched, throwing a couple picks.
It's a spring game.
Yeah.
My man.
And
Come
then
on.
shortly after that, they boot him from the team. So then he goes to JUCO, wins a national championship for JUCO.
Yeah.
Then he signs, of course, with Ole Miss. They have no problem taking a guy like that.
No.
And then, beautiful thing, a week after signing, he gets in a fight with bouncers. You know the story?
Okay, so didn't he threaten him with a gun?
Well, here's the thing. He did that. The police report said, quote unquote, I'm going to go and get my AK-47
Oh,
and
he's got an
spray
AK.
this place. Spray this place.
Got an AK.
With his AK-40. I think we got video of some of this stuff cut up. There he goes.
Oh.
There's Chad Kelly. So then, of course, Ole Miss gets him. The thing that bugs me about this, being an SEC guy, what happens if he was going to FSU? Transfer?
Oh, the way
what
that's
happens
written
then?
about?
If that plays out that rap sheet and he does that with the AK-47
Yeah.
and it comes to FSU, what's the narrative?
Well, you know what the narrative is, and it's something that's co-opted a story that would go on and on for weeks and months on end. But I don't, maybe Ole Miss at this point is just arriving at that place where they're relevant, and people bother to pay attention. So he gets in under the radar just for now. 10 years from now, maybe not. But right now, he gets in because they haven't mattered.
But I don't think they're going to matter much. We're going to talk about that later. I think
Okay.
he's about to shut that thing
You
down.
think it's about to be shut down?
There's some stuff's going to happen. Ole Miss is going to be.
You have to really
irrelevant.
screw up for the NCAA to actually wield any sort of authority these days.
I understand what they did there. And we'll get into that a little bit. But I mean,
They wanted to win.
You're never going to be relevant in the SEC West unless you go so over the top that you have to be. So they just said, screw it. We're just going to go all in.
There's an oddly
And I
admirable
kinda
quality to that. Yeah, I mean, I figure if you care enough, well, screw it. And now would be the time that you would test the NCAA because they've shown themselves to be pretty terribly weak these days.
We're going to get into that a little bit when we come back in the Warchant Man Cave Show.
I want to see
Thank
the
you, Jimmy
AK-47
Johns.
again.
Yeah, we'll get, I think we had video of the bar fight.
Did he really say he wanted to spray this
Yes,
place?
that was a quote on the police report. He's going to spray this place with
How
his
endearing.
AK-47.
Yeah.
And we come back, we've got a flight of beers from our friends
man.
at Proof. We're going to do some of that and do some beer tasting next on the Warchant Man Cave Show.
Beautiful.
Welcome back to the Warchant Man Cave Show here live at Seven Hill Tap Room on Appalachian Parkway, serving the best craft beer that has to offer. Beautiful. You got the 850. We're going to in a minute.
I got the 850 from Proof, yeah.
Before we got a nice flight up here from Proof Brewing. By the way, Jimmy John's, freaky good, freaky fast.
Thank you, Jimmy
If you want
John's.
to get this, you just go to jimmyjohns.com for your tailgate catering needs.
This is so convenient. This is perfect. Yeah.
Because you're digging around in that platter and
No,
trying
it's
to pull out the turkey.
And you got
find
people's
it.
hands on.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
this
no,
is very
that's not what you
convenient.
do.
The mini ones, 12 and 24 packs. Check it out.
I like it.
You got a neutral site game, Jeff. We're gonna have a lot more of these. It seems like obviously next
Well,
year,
money.
Alabama. You got the game in they moved Boise State to Jacksonville in 2019.
That's right.
But there's been some great ones in Florida State history, and I want to talk about some of the best ones in your memory.
Okay. Can I start?
Yeah,
You want
what
me
comes
to start?
to your mind?
Well, obviously everybody's going to talk about the game against Kansas, the shutout, the goal line
Yes.
stand, which is amazing. But for me, a personal memory, 94 in Orlando against Notre Dame.
Really?
Denny Canal. I'll tell you why. It was 23-16. It is what it is. We sold that whole game to Orlando and went over there and played.
I didn't like that because we sold our home game.
We sold our
That
home
one made
game.
me mad.
It's a sore spot for a lot of people. But for me, just nostalgia-wise, I went with my dad and I met up with my dear friend, old roommate here at FSU. We all got together and had the best
for personal reasons.
We had a great time. And Florida State won the game. It was kind of an ugly game, and 23-16, I think the final was. But I have a great time, and I always remember that game. Because to me, the whole thing, Florida State Notre Dame meet up, you just see the iconic images, and there was something about that. So for me, it was 94.
Well, I mean, three that come to mind, obviously the A&M game, Chris Winke's debut.
Yeah, and Dat Wynn played in that game. He was really good for Texas A&M. You forgot about it. He was a really good player.
That was a fun game, too, up there.
It's kind of an ugly game.
You mentioned the Kansas one. The thing I love about that kickoff classic, you won 42-0 with that goal line stand.
Oh, time and
plays,
again.
You realize 12 plays they had in there, and they had 6 of them on the 1-yard line or inside. 6 plays.
And Mickey's reaction.
That's the thing. Seeing Mickey, I've never seen Mickey so animated.
He was so proud. He was so proud.
Yeah.
That was remember they go.
There he is.
Yeah, there it is. And if you recall, I mean, that's a bygone era, by the way. Goal line was a big deal back in the day. Jimbo talked about it this week. Yeah. But it doesn't exist anymore for player health reasons. You can't really do it. They go to war.
At the end of practice, you're all worn down and we're going goal line.
And if you knew that and then you saw that,
what kind of
the fruits of the labor, the pride that he had in it, it was fun.
Of course, the one we're going to bring up because we're going to renew the 10-year anniversary was 2007, Florida State, Alabama. Xavier Lee's one good game, I guess.
And Dakota Fagg with a big touchdown. There was a big play there.
Both teams were down and out at that time, but FSU won that one. Hopefully they'll repeat things next
One
year.
of the things I remember most about that game, beyond the fact that it was a fun tailgate, was the fact that, maybe it was because there were low expectations. The fans were good to each other, man. That was kind of a fun camaraderie there. Alabama fans, Florida State fans got along fine. I mean, we're not natural rivals.
The expectations. If you played, I'm guessing next time in Atlanta,
you don't think it'll be
a
little bit more edgy because the other wants what the other. Yeah, but I mean, there were low expectations in that game. But I remember I walked by a tailgate with Bama fans, and they're like, come on over. It was a good time. So that was fun,
All right, now we're going to try a little beer. We've got good friends at Proof. You can get a lot of the Proof beers. It's a Tallahassee brewery here at the Seven Hill Tap Room. And our good friend, Alan, who's going to come over here, he's going to show us. There's a flight. He's going to tell us a little bit about, I don't know if they can pick you up on audio, but just tell us about each one of these. What we
Come on here, Alan.
I probably talk loud enough to...
You can. He's a big man. Yeah, you got me. I got your mic. There you go.
So what I have right here is we have our Mango Wit, our 850, and our La La Land. So,
a couple La La Lands.
Yeah, a couple La La Lands.
This is the IPA.
So this is that's our IPA. It's our West Coast IPA, about 7.5% alcohol by volume. It's a little less malty, a little more hop forward, but in the true West Coast style. And then in consideration to our 850,
which I also have right here,
a ton, which I have right here also. In our cans. So a little more malty, about 6.5-8% ABV, but we double dry hop this one. It actually has more hops in it than our IPA. We use a ton of hops, a lot of Citra and Simcoe hops. And then our Mango Wit is a traditional Belgian wit style beer, and it has fresh mango puree in the process. Very light, easy drinking beer.
Nice.
Cheers.
You can check out Proof on Railroad Square over there.
Yeah,
Beautiful
cheers.
facility.
Love
going
Proof.
over there.
Thank you.
You got the bocce ball over there,
Oh,
which
and
is cool.
stay
You got the
local,
ping
man.
pong.
Stay local. That's the way to do it, right?
Yeah. All about what Bill does here at the Seven Hill Tap Room. It's all local Florida breweries right now they've got up there. It's fantastic.
That's a good beer.
So we actually have our fall seasonal coming out probably next week or early the week after. It's called Warpath.
Oh,
It's
I like the name. I really like the name.
I figured you might like the name.
Yeah.
It's actually a double imperial IPA. It's about 9.5%.
I was gonna say,
This sissy ain't gonna drink it, but I'm right there.
Come on now.
I'm just teasing you.
So it's a double IPA. It's gonna be really good.
I'm in.
Yep.
The Warpath.
Awesome. Appreciate
Hey, thanks
See
a
you,
lot,
Alan.
guys.
All right,
Alan.
man. Appreciate
Thank you
it.
guys very much.
Proof out.
Very, very good.
Tallahassee Brewery, they do a great job over there and really taking over some
I'm
of the
proud of
canned stuff.
Tallahassee.
You see,
There's a
it's
lot
amazing
of
now
good
when I
things.
go out other places, even out of Tallahassee, I've seen Proof
Seen
on
me
tap
improve now, yeah.
somewhere.
No,
That's so cool.
the craft beer industry has kind of been taken over more and more, and it's a lot of fun to watch people who work hard locally succeed, see their beers move out across the state.
Yeah.
It's happening with Proof. Good stuff.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Local, support local, definitely. Now, we need the Unmentionables' help here. Hey, Unmentionables, we need your help here. We're going to vote on the best Ole Miss meme here, so pay attention to the screen here. We need your guys' input on this, and Jeff, you as well.
All right,
so let's start down there. You know, Laramie Tunsil, the whole thing with the NCAA. Obviously, they were already in trouble for some stuff, and until, you know, it got a little bit worse. So the first meme we're going to vote on is, I don't know if you can read that here. It's a little bit on the tape, but you can see it on screen. It says, wanted a touchdown, a touching blindside story. Got blindsided by the NCAA instead.
Oh, the blindside, I forgot.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's the first meme. It gets a lukewarm response.
Yeah, it's not going to win. Not going to win.
Meme number 2. All right, there we go. That's our boy Laramie Tunsil there. It says, I was going to be a top 10 draft pick, but then I got high.
Ah, from the album, from the song. All right, fair enough.
Number 2.
By the way, I had to give him credit. He seemed so happy in that video. He was so happy.
Well, he better be. It was worth it. It cost him a lot of money.
Yeah, he was having a good time.
All right, number 3 meme. Here we go. Well, all right, wait.
That's going to be your winner.
But here's the thing. You can't read what it says. Let me read what it says here at the bottom.
That wins.
Laramie Tunsil's punishment, getting drafted by the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, man.
All right, I think we may have a
Anything
winner
with Jordan
there.
face is going to, that's your winner right there.
Let's go to number 4. It says, well, everybody cheats, so.
No, not going to win. Not gonna
All right,
win.
Laramie Tunsil going to the
Tunsil
Dolphins.
wins
That's
it.
the winner.
There it is.
Well done.
Hey, cheers.
Thank you, Unmentionables. I don't know what do they win, Bill? Nothing. They win nothing. All right. Well, that's why they're unmentionable. So.
Free Jimmy John.
There you go. Yeah, we do. If you happen to come out, we do have the Jimmy John, so we let the unmentionables, after we have our fill,
Right.
we get first dibs. They get to come in and
Well, and there's plenty, so that's not going to be a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
So plenty. As long as they keep my the jalapeno chips go fast too.
Did you get?
Make sure
Did
I
you already
gotta
eat?
get
No, man, that's not. Okay, we got
we got a couple of them.
We got a couple.
All right. So Warchant Man Cave Show. Appreciate it. When we come back, Jeff, we're gonna play a little pool.
Oh, I thought we were going to do some shuffleboard.
We're going to do, it's a little crowded over there, so we'll save that.
I'm in with the pool, yeah.
We're going to play a little pool.
Okay.
And make some picks, and there's a lot of really good games to pick from.
Obviously, this has been well celebrated. Probably the best opening weekend of college football history.
I hope this is a trend in college football.
Oh, I love it. The neutral site games, big games. I prefer those games be on college campuses instead, but the matchups I'll take. Yeah,
versus
absolutely.
all the weaklings versus the powerhouse.
Sure. No, I love it.
We'll
I love it. Yeah.
Next. We'll be right back in the Warchant Man Cave Show. Welcome back to the Warchant Man Cave Show here at the 7th Hill Tap Room on Appalachian Parkway. Craft beer everywhere, crowlers, growlers, all that good stuff for you. So come by, check it out. And our good friends at Jimmy John and the Unmentionables are devouring.
They're devouring all that now.
You better leave me some of that. So Jimmy John's, check them out. And what many locations? They got like 7, 8 locations.
They're all
over the place in Tallahassee. If you're coming into town, go ahead and load up for your tailgate. JimmyJohns.com for your catering needs. And now, Jeff, we're going to play a little pool.
All right, you're going to be the man. You want to break? You want to break? You want me to break?
I guess I can break, but before we get
going... I don't care. Go ahead.
One thing I want to bring up before we get going here is the beautiful changes to Doe Campbell.
They are gorgeous.
For the stadium, we got now the Champions Club.
Right.
You've got the new scoreboard. I know you've been over there to check some
of
that out.
Oh, I've seen it all. Yeah, I was there last night talking to the quarterback.
Now, what I want to do is lobby for them to have a little Jeff Cameron Show War Chant section in the club section.
Oh, well, hey, Gene, I'm in, buddy.
We'll give you some mentions on the show. We can help.
It's a good break.
Right,
yeah, I'll gladly give away mentions.
So we'll have set up a little section for us over there. And
I did scratch. It was not a bad break until I scratched.
Yeah, you know, Alan was telling me they're going to have a lot of the proof. They're going to have the proof 850 and the Mango Wit at the Champions Club.
Well, that doesn't. That just only enhances how great the Champions Club is going to be.
Meanwhile, down in Miami, they have now the Miami Seminole Hard Rock Stadium.
Seminole Hard Rock Stadium, indeed. Yes.
It's called Hard Rock. It's Seminole Hard Rock Stadium.
Absolutely, it's well branded.
So you scratch, get that over here. All right.
You got it. You got it.
I'm going to go here. Open table here.
Yeah, you got an open table.
So I will do that. And let's
go to some cord for my scratching. Here, slide it over. You hit, and I'll do picks.
All right,
you ready?
Now picks down here.
Here we go.
Man, I just love this, man. I'm gonna.
First of all, this weekend is insane. So let me do this. Let me move over here and get everybody ready. Clemson given 7.5 at Auburn. Gene.
Ooh, that's ugly.
I think we both are taking Clemson to roll there.
That I don't like the hook, but still, even with that, Clemson should dominate that one. I just first game you worry a little rusty, but man, Deshaun Watson against that defense. Come on.
Georgia's given 2.5 against North Carolina. Any way that the ACC gets off on the right foot with UNC beating Georgia.
Imagine that if a lowly coastal team beats a big-name SEC school. How good would that be?
Well, and but they are playing a lowly SEC East school.
But they're a big name. But according to SEC and everybody else, Georgia Bulldogs are. I mean,
it's only
that's
2.5.
That's where Herschel Walker went. They must be a great team.
Vegas is already telling you it's a close matchup. It's a 2.5 game. Yeah. So you taking Carolina? You gonna be bold?
No, I'm
not. No. Okay.
I will never take
you can make fun all you want, but you're taking Georgia.
If the coastal team wins one of those games, I can't take them.
Okay,
I hope they do. But
I'll take Georgia.
What are you on that?
I got Georgia.
Yeah.
All right. Oklahoma's given an 11.5 at Houston. 11.5.
Too many points.
It's not really at Houston, but yeah. So.
I think that's too many points. You know, they still got Greg Ward at quarterback. That's a tough offense to stop. We saw that firsthand. I know you're an Oklahoma guy.
Yeah.
Isn't that a lot of points?
It's a lot of points, and I think a lot of points will be scored, but I'm going to take Oklahoma. I think Houston takes a step back this year. If you look at what they lost, I think they lose 2-3 games. I'm going to take Oklahoma to win by 14.
I just can't give up that. It was under 10, I would take Oklahoma, but at 11.5, no, I'm all.
Maybe I'm being a somewhat family homer with graduates in my family from OU, but I'm going to take OU and give it 11.5. Southern Cal gets 11.5, speaking of which, against Alabama. Now, Alabama doesn't need a quarterback, apparently, to win football games. They win national championships without anybody who can play at that position. So
yeah, but that's because they have running backs, NFL running backs.
It's because they have the best players in the country. So my point is, even though people will tell you Alabama doesn't have a quarterback, it doesn't matter. Who are you taking?
You know, the thing is, Alabama struggles a little bit in openers sometimes.
West Virginia game was it last year?
That's too many. I'm probably going against my instincts. I'm going to take USC and just too many points. I think they win by about 9-10 points.
9-10 points?
What are you going on that? You going Alabama?
I'm going to take Alabama.
I'll take Alabama. All right. I mean, I kind of first gut was to do that, but nah.
Notre Dame minus 3.5 at Texas.
To me, if I'm betting, that's the one that just blows me away. I think Notre Dame's going to win going away on that one.
Well, last year they certainly did. I mean, that was a hideous game. You'll pick our next game. This table's wide open, correct?
Yeah, it's still open because we suck.
Yeah.
This is not our sport.
Well, I mean, So I too am going to take Notre Dame. But I missed that shot. I'm talking to you.
I'd say about a touch. I mean, I think a touchdown would be
That's terribly embarrassing to miss that shot.
So did you? Yeah, okay, you still haven't made one.
Yeah, no.
We may finish the show without making a
I think that's
shot.
probably true.
It could be. I'll take one more here. So we got FSU only -4. That line has dropped a little bit.
Why do you think that line has dropped, Gene?
I'm guessing it's not like Smag was going to start, right? So
no, I mean we didn't think he was going to start.
Maybe because they figure if Francois gets hurt, you're completely screwed.
I've got a sense that Smag will be dressed, right? Don't you think?
I think
he'll be
there.
dressed.
I think he's going to be your emergency backup.
Yeah, I do too.
He can't practice more than a week before the game and then not play.
I would also say this: as much as I really respect Chad Kelly as a talented quarterback, we got to make. He's a really talented player. I just worry. I mean, if I'm an Ole Miss person, I'm thinking to myself, you're replacing from the Sugar Bowl the entirety of that offensive line. And to me, that's an awful lot to go against Florida State's defense. So to me, I would suggest to you. You want me to move? All right. I would suggest to you that that's too much to overcome.
Imagine FSU's offensive line in 2015, how bad that was last year.
Right.
And then think about this could be the best defensive line in college football.
And you had to do that. You had to replace all those.
You put DeMarcus Walker going against guys who've never started a game before.
I'll give the points. I'll give the points for that very reason. I think Florida State wins.
I'm the same way. I thought a touchdown was fair. 7 to 10 points, I would say.
Ole Miss still has talent, but if Eberle starts at center, I think Florida State.
That's the only thing you worry about. I mean, apparently the migraine thing, you worry a little bit about that. That would be a little bit. That would put a wrench in some things.
Well, that changes things. That's a big difference. If you have your starting center, you win by double digits. If you don't, anything's open.
That might be about right.
Yeah.
But I think it sounds like he's going to start.
Okay. Well, then I'm taking Florida State.
We're saying bet the mortgage on Florida State right there. Jeff, it's been a lot of fun. We made at least one shot.
Always appreciate it, brother. We'll finish up this game.
Good times.
Good to
times.
meet you guys,
Thank you for
as always.
In. Come on by, visit the 7 Hill Tap Room, frequent our friends at Jimmy John's. Great time had by all. Coming out, being unmentionable if you're in Tallahassee.
Good times.
We'd love to see you guys.
Tons of beer.
Good night. Go Noles.